What if the very thing that hurt you the most could become the greatest source of your strength? Tony Robbins teaches that pain is not here to destroy you, it's here to shape you. Every setback, every rejection, every sleepless night carries a hidden lesson waiting to be unlocked. Most people run from pain. The successful ones learn how to use it as fuel. In the next few minutes, you'll discover how pain can be transformed into clarity, drive, and unstoppable power. Stay with me until the end, because the final lesson might completely change how you see your struggles and yourself. Lesson 1. Pain is a signal, not a sentence. In the philosophy of Tony Robbins, pain is never viewed as an endpoint or a final judgment on one's life. Rather, it is reimagined as a sophisticated biological and psychological feedback loop. Most people react to pain by retreating, numbing themselves, or falling into a state of learned helplessness. They view pain as a prison sentence, a static state of being that defines their current reality and limits their future potential. However, Robbins argues that pain is actually an alarm system designed to grab our attention and force a redirection. Just as physical pain tells you to pull your hand away from a hot stove to prevent further tissue damage, emotional and psychological pain indicates that our current perceptions, actions, or lifestyle choices are no longer serving our highest good. When we stop viewing pain as a sentence and start seeing it as a signal, we shift from being victims of our circumstances to being the architects of our own evolution. The transformation begins with a fundamental shift in the questions we ask ourselves during moments of intense distress. The typical human response to suffering is to ask, "Why is this happening to me?" This question is inherently disempowering because it focuses on the past, on external blame, and on the role of the victim. It reinforces the idea that pain is a punishment inflicted by a cruel universe or bad luck. Robbins suggests replacing this with a much more potent inquiry: what is this teaching me? Or how can I use this? This small linguistic shift changes the brain's focus from suffering to solution-seeking. By asking what the pain is trying to communicate, you engage the prefrontal cortex and begin to analyze the situation objectively. You start to see that the pain might be a signal that you are settling for less than you deserve, that you have lost your sense of purpose, or that your current relationships are toxic. The pain isn't the enemy. The refusal to listen to the signal is. When we interpret pain as guidance, it loses its power to paralyze us. Consider the athlete whose muscles burn during training. They don't see that pain as a reason to quit, but as a signal that they are pushing their limits and growing stronger. In the same way, emotional discomfort such as the sting of a failed business or the ache of a breakup can be viewed as a growth pain. It acts as a compass pointing toward the areas of our lives that require more attention, better boundaries, or a complete overhaul of our strategy. Robbins teaches that the most successful people in the world have developed a high pain threshold not by ignoring the signal, but by acknowledging it instantly and using it to calibrate their next move. They don't wait for the pain to become unbearable. They treat the first sign of discomfort as a call to arms. Ultimately, treating pain as a signal fosters a mindset of radical responsibility. If pain is a signal, then you are the operator who must receive the message and take action. This removes the why me narrative and replaces it with a what now directive. It allows you to separate your identity from your current feelings. You are not a depressed person. You are a person receiving a signal that your current emotional state is unsustainable. This distinction is vital for mental health and long-term success. It creates a space between the stimulus and the response, giving you the freedom to choose a path that leads away from suffering and toward a life of intention. By the time the signal is fully understood and acted upon, the pain has served its purpose and naturally begins to dissipate, leaving behind a more resilient and self-aware individual. Lesson 2. Meaning determines power. One of the most profound insights Tony Robbins shares is that the quality of our lives is not determined by the events that happen to us, but by the meaning we assign to those events. Two people can experience the exact same tragedy, a job loss, a health crisis, or a personal betrayal, and come out with entirely different life trajectories. One person might decide that the event means my life is over, or I am a failure, while the other might decide it means this is a fresh start, or I am being tested to show my true strength. The event itself is neutral. The meaning we wrap around it is what creates our emotional reality. If you assign a disempowering meaning to your pain, you give away your power. If you assign an empowering meaning, you reclaim your agency and become the master of your fate. Robbins emphasizes that we are constantly telling ourselves stories about our lives. These internal narratives are the filters through which we view reality. When we are in pain, the story often becomes one of victimhood. People always leave me, I'll never be wealthy, or the world is out to get me. These stories act as self-fulfilling prophecies because they dictate our emotional state, which in turn dictates our actions. If you believe your pain means you are broken, you will act like a broken person. However, if you consciously choose to change the story, deciding instead that your pain is preparation for a greater mission, your entire physiology changes, your posture shifts, your energy levels rise, and you begin to look for opportunities rather than obstacles. The meaning is the steering wheel of your life. Pain with meaning becomes purpose, while pain without meaning becomes suffering. This is a concept echoed by psychologists like Viktor Frankl, and Robbins brings it into a practical modern context. When we find a why for our pain, we can endure almost any how. If we believe our struggle is making us more compassionate, more disciplined, or more capable of helping others, the sting of the pain is replaced by a sense of mission. Suffering, on the other hand, is the result of feeling that our pain is random, useless, and endless. By intentionally assigning a constructive meaning to our hardships, we strip the pain of its ability to cause long-term suffering. We transform a tragedy into a transformation, and in doing so we gain a level of psychological power that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. To master this lesson, one must become a meaning maker. This requires a high level of self-awareness and the discipline to catch disempowering thoughts as they arise. Robbins teaches techniques like reframing, where you intentionally look at a situation from a different angle to find a more useful interpretation. It's not about positive thinking or lying to yourself. It's about finding a functional truth that allows you to move forward. For example, a business failure isn't just a loss of money, it's a high-priced tuition for a lesson that will make the next venture 10 times more successful. When you control the meaning, you control the emotion, and when you control the emotion, you control your life. You realize that while you cannot control the wind, you can always adjust your sails by changing the story you tell yourself about the storm. Lesson 3. Use pain as fuel for massive action. Tony Robbins frequently discusses the threshold of change, which is the moment when the pain of staying the same finally outweighs the pain of making a change. Most people live in a state of comfortable misery. They aren't happy, but they aren't quite miserable enough to take the risks necessary for a breakthrough. They exist in a lukewarm middle ground where fear of the unknown keeps them paralyzed. Robbins teaches that pain, when properly harnessed, is the ultimate catalyst for action because it creates a sense of absolute urgency. Instead of trying to avoid discomfort, we should use it as leverage against our own procrastination. When you reach your threshold and say, "I have had enough, never again," that is the moment your life truly changes. The concept of massive action is a cornerstone of the Robbins methodology. It's not about taking small, hesitant steps. It's about an overwhelming, decisive strike toward a goal. Fear often prevents this kind of action, but pain can be used to override fear. If the fear of remaining in your current painful state becomes greater than the fear of failing at something new, you will find a reservoir of courage you didn't know you had. This is why many of the world's most successful individuals hit rock bottom before their rise. Rock bottom provides a solid foundation because there is no longer any room for excuses or hesitation. The pain of the bottom acts as a rocket fuel that propels them toward a new reality. You can use your discomfort to fuel the late nights, the difficult conversations, and the grueling work required to change your life. To use pain as fuel, you must stop managing your stress and start utilizing your dissatisfaction. Many people try to dull their pain with distractions, social media, or substances, which only serves to keep them stuck in the lukewarm middle ground. Robbins suggests that we should instead lean into the discomfort and let it bother us. We should get honest about the costs of our current behavior, how it affects our health, our children, our finances, and our self-respect. By magnifying the pain of the status quo in our minds, we create a psychological imperative to move. This is the push phase of transformation. Once you take massive action and begin to see results, the pull of your new compelling vision takes over. But it is often pain that provides the initial spark needed to break the gravitational pull of old habits. Channeling discomfort into bold action also has the unique effect of dissolving fear. Fear thrives in the space of inaction and overthinking. When you are moving at a high velocity toward a solution fueled by the burning desire to escape a painful situation, you simply don't have the bandwidth to be afraid. You become focused, resourceful, and relentless. The pain that once felt like a heavy weight becomes the wind at your back. Robbins encourages his students to burn the boats, a reference to explorers who destroyed their own means of retreat to ensure they had no choice but to succeed. By using your pain to commit fully to a new path, you eliminate the possibility of returning to your old life, turning your greatest challenge into your greatest advantage. Lesson 4. Your past does not define you. A recurring theme in Tony Robbins' work is the distinction between your past and your identity. Many people carry their past traumas, failures, and mistakes like a heavy backpack, believing that what has happened to them is who they are. They say, "I am a divorcee, I am a failed entrepreneur, or I am a victim of abuse." Robbins argues that while your past is an important reference point, a source of data and lessons, it is not a residence. When you allow your past pain to define your identity, you create a psychological ceiling that prevents you from rising any higher. The truth is that the person you were 10 years ago or even 10 minutes ago does not have to be the person you are right now. Every moment provides a fresh opportunity to redefine yourself. Painful experiences can either be chains that bind us or stepping stones that elevate us. The difference lies in our perspective. Robbins teaches that if you look back at your past with regret and shame, those experiences become chains. They keep you tethered to a version of yourself that no longer exists. However, if you look back and extract the gold, the lessons, the resilience, and the strength you gained, those experiences become stepping stones. You realize that you didn't just go through something, you grew through it. The very things that were meant to break you are often the things that built the character required for your future success. Your scars are not signs of weakness, they are evidence that you survived and evolved. One of the most powerful tools for breaking free from the past is the realization that your brain is wired to remember the negative more vividly than the positive as a survival mechanism. This negativity bias can make it seem like your past is a relentless parade of pain. Robbins challenges us to consciously rewire our history by focusing on the moments of triumph and the times we showed courage. He often says your past does not equal your future. This isn't just a motivational slogan, it's a psychological fact. Your future is created by the decisions you make in the present moment. By separating your identity from your history, you give yourself the permission to reinvent who you are, what you value, and what you are capable of achieving. You are the author of the current chapter, not just a reader of the previous ones. When you stop letting your past define you, you also develop a deeper sense of empathy and resilience. You realize that everyone is fighting a battle you know nothing about, and that their bad behavior is often just a reflection of their own past pain. This understanding allows you to move through the world with more grace and less judgment, both toward others and toward yourself. You start to see your past as a library of experiences that you can check out for wisdom rather than a prison cell you are trapped in. This liberation is essential for personal growth. It allows you to step into the world with a sense of clean slate potential, knowing that your value is inherent and your future is unwritten. As Robbins often reminds his audiences, the only thing keeping you from the life you want is the story you keep telling yourself about why you can't have it. Lesson 5. Serve something bigger than yourself. The pinnacle of Tony Robbins' teachings on pain is the concept of contribution. He famously states, "The secret to living is giving." When we are immersed in our own pain, our world becomes very small. We become hyper-focused on our own problems, our own feelings, and our own limitations. This self-obsession actually magnifies the pain as it creates a vacuum where nothing exists but the suffering. Robbins teaches that the fastest way to escape the prison of self-focused pain is to turn your attention outward and serve something bigger than yourself. When you shift your focus from "how can I fix my life" to "how can I help someone else," your internal chemistry changes. You move from a state of scarcity to a state of abundance. Turning your pain into a way to help others is the ultimate form of alchemy. It transforms wounds into wisdom and scars into stars. For example, someone who has struggled with addiction and found recovery can use their experience to save others from the same path. In doing so, their years of struggle are no longer wasted. They become the very credentials that allow them to make a difference. This creates a sense of profound meaning that owns the pain rather than letting the pain own the person. When you realize that your struggle can be the light that guides someone else out of the dark, the pain takes on a sacred quality. It becomes a gift that you are uniquely qualified to give. This is how we move from survival to significance. Service provides a perspective that is often missing during times of personal crisis. When you help someone who is facing even greater challenges, it recalibrates your internal pain scale. It fosters gratitude, which Robbins considers the ultimate antidote to fear and anger. You cannot be grateful and fearful at the same time. By focusing on contribution, you tap into a source of energy and motivation that is far more sustainable than self-interest. Humans are wired to do more for others than we will often do for ourselves. You might not feel like getting out of bed for your own sake, but you will do it if you know there is a child, a community, or a cause that is counting on you. Service gives you a reason that transcends your current emotional state. Ultimately, serving something bigger than yourself is how you achieve true power and lasting fulfillment. Robbins argues that success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. You can have all the money and accolades in the world, but if you aren't contributing to the well-being of others, you will always feel an underlying sense of emptiness and vulnerability to pain. Contribution connects us to the rest of humanity and to a sense of universal purpose. It validates our existence and gives us a sense of legacy. When you live a life of service, your pain becomes part of a larger narrative of human progress and compassion. You realize that you are not just a person trying to get by, you are a force for good, and your challenges are simply the forge in which your capacity to help others is being tempered. Tony Robbins teaches us that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. When you learn to harness pain instead of fearing it, you unlock a deeper level of confidence, clarity, and power. Remember this: the moments that challenge you the most are often preparing you for your greatest impact. Don't waste your pain. Use it. Turn it into power. Turn it into purpose. And step into the strongest version of yourself.